The Flowers by Alice Walker. It seemed to Mayop as she skipped lightly from hen house to pig pen to smokehouse that the days had never been as beautiful as these. The air made her nose twitch. The harvesting of the corn and cotton, peanuts and squash made each day a golden surprise that caused shivers to run up to her jaws. Mayop carried a short stick. She struck out at chickens she liked and worked at the beat of a song on the fence around the pig pen. She felt light and good in the warm sun. She was 10 and nothing existed for her but her song and the stick in her dark brown hands going tap-diddy-ta-ta-ta. Turning her back on her family's sharecropper cabin, Mayop walked along the fence till it ran into the stream. Around the stream, where the family got drinking water, ferns and wildflowers grew. Along the shallow banks, pigs rooted. Mayop watched the tiny white bubbles on the water that rose and slid away down the stream. She'd explored the woods behind the house many times. Often, in late autumn, her mother took her to gather nuts amongst the fallen leaves. Today she made her own path, bouncing this way and that way, keeping an eye out for the snakes. She found pretty ferns and leaves, an armful of strange blue flowers, and sweet suds bush full of the brown fragrant buds. By 12 o'clock, her arms full of sprigs, she was a mile or more from home. She had often been as far before, but the strange land was not as pleasant as usual. It seemed gloomy in the little cover in which she found herself. The air was damp, the silence close and deep. Mayop began to circle back to the house, back to the peacefulness of the morning. It was then that she stepped smack into his eyes. Her heel became lodged between his brow and nose. She reached down quickly, unafraid to free herself. It was only when she saw his naked grin that she gave a little yelp of surprise. He had been a tall man. From feet to neck covered a long space. His head lay beside him. When she pushed back the leaves and earth, Mayop saw that he had large white teeth, all of them cracked or broken, long fingers and very big bones. All of his clothes had rotted away, except some threads of blue denim from his overalls. The buckles of the overalls had turned green. Mayop gazed around the spot with interest. Very near where she'd stepped into the head was a wild pink rose. As she picked it to add to her bundle, she noticed a raised mound, a ring around the rose's root. It was the rotted remains of a noose, a bit of shedding plough line, now blending into the soil. Around an overhanging limb of a great spreading oak clung another piece, frayed, rotted, bleached and frazzled, barely there, spinning restlessly in the breeze. Mayop laid down her flowers, and the summer was over. That was a really short, if not quite traumatic story about a young black girl whose innocence was destroyed the moment she stumbled across a fellow black man who'd been lynched. If that is something you're interested in or you want to learn more about the Black experience, there are a number of books on the screen now which might interest you. We also have a range of them in the library as well that we can point out if you are interested in reading some more about the topic.